like a, well, usually it's like a black roll.
Chuck E. Cheese. Check-in.
Yeah, we'll find it later. It'll be fine. We'll just trip a couple times.
All right. You guys, this is going to be y'all's mic
Perfect.
that you'll have to share. Can we clip this here some kind of way? Help me out.
I think so. Probably the center, maybe. My power's not working anymore. Oh, because I pulled it out.
Every time.
The electrons aren't moving. What the hell?
There, I'll just balance it.
All right, cool. I'm going to move myself right here. This looks pretty gnarly, I'm not going to lie. I'm like blacked out and it looks cool.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. I'm really excited about this. Okay, so let's talk about it, guys. We are building Vibecraft today. I've got the Raspberry Pi here. Really excited about that. I wonder if I can prop this up a little bit higher so you guys can see it.
Above my water? Do you need something to raise that entire
Just a little bit more, like the size of a book would be freaking
Okay.
stellar right now.
Okay. We got this.
Yeah, perfect.
Perfect. And then we have a sterno can, even if you want it smaller.
No.
Okay. There you go.
Boom. Thank you.
You're welcome.
The things we go through to give you guys the coolest visuals. All right. So extra, read all about it. Gotta go. All right, my camera's gonna be in and out of focus. Y'all bear with me on that. Oh.
So the M5 is so fast. I like.
Oh, you're using M5. Let's talk about that too.
I don't know much. I just bought it because my computer bugged out
getting all
last
funded.
week. Huh?
Look at you getting funding.
Yeah. well, like I had the M2 and like
I'm so sorry.
yeah, and I woke up last week. Yeah, last week, 10 days ago. So, and my laptop dropped on the ground.
Oh.
I was like coding on the couch and like dropped on the ground, and then there's like a pixelated line.
No.
No. And I was like, I got contracts to do. And then I just went to Apple and I was like, give me your MacBook.
Yeah.
I don't care. Like, so they have the M5 with like the highest terabyte or whatever. And
How much memory's in it?
I have no idea. Probably two terabytes.
No, the RAM. So you hit the Apple button and then click about this Mac.
Yeah, it's memory is 36.
36. Yeah.
All right.
But I got the M5 Max.
That's nice. So it's fast.
It's super fast. So like the brew install is like
Yeah.
all the time you're like
Yeah.
just like shoop, and I'm like, oh my god.
I do that on a fresh machine too.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Mwah.
Yeah, chef's kiss for real.
Yep.
Nice. Okay, so I'm gonna start getting after it. So I've got a project I started on yesterday that I just mentioned called Clawbox. And so it looks like this. Clawbox is essentially a GUI for OpenClaw. And so what we're gonna do today is drop Vibecraft on top of it. And that looks like, not my token verification. Oops. It looks like this. Shout out to Steven Tran sitting right here. Oh yeah, I'm here with Colin and Steven, by the way.
Yeah.
Let me show these guys real quick so you guys know what we're doing here.
There we go. Let's put it there.
We're in the robotics facility, Hicam. Big shout out to Hicam. We're in their podcast area. You guys will see us doing this a lot more soon with more people and more cameras and more angles and more and more and more and more and more and maybe more and maybe more than that. But anyways, really excited to do this today. If I can get the camera right. Good enough. Excited to do this today because we are promoting Prompt Lab.
Yes.
Do you want to talk about Prompt Lab at all?
Yeah. So Prompt Lab is.
I probably should have just left the camera on you.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
So Prompt Lab is meant to be an introductory course for anybody new to AI and want to kind of dip their toes in, because a lot of times there's so many things coming out, such as OpenClaw, like, and all these weird terminologies. But at the core of it, it's communication with the AI and how do we talk to them effectively. So Prompt Lab is where you can come in with any idea, and we'll walk you through how to dissect that idea into prompts that will get you 80% of the way there of like something that you want.
Yep.
And we have a team of AI practitioners that has all the resources to get you the rest of the 20% of the way there, to see your ideas come into life.
Right. And so Steven is the creator of what I'm showing you right now. He forked this Vibecraft situation, which is basically a way for you to gamify and see what your agents are doing. So imagine you guys are launching OpenClaw and you kind of want to have a visual on what's happening. This is a piece of the puzzle that has not been solved yet, and Steven's doing it right now. And we're going to kind of hack on this today for about 30 minutes, 45 minutes maybe, and try to see where we can get to. But essentially, the idea is we take this that you see on screen and we add it to what's popping up on the screen right now, which is Clawbox, and you'll see like the soul file, skills, tasks, plugins, etc. So this is a lot of fun to play around with this stuff and see how we can integrate both into one. So imagine being able to click on this app. It's a Tari app, I believe. Is that how you say that word? Tari? Tauri?
I have no idea.
Okay. It's just a style of app, basically. Like
Like the hexagon.
no. Like a code type.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah, I don't
Another application of Vibecraft is like, imagine it's in the cloud. So
Mhm.
like every provider is allowing cloud agents now. So there's like no, we'll get to a point where we don't need to run any agents on our computer, because as you go in your organization, you'll want to monitor all the agents that your organization's using in one place.
Right.
So Vibecraft can be that interface layer where you log in and you can see what all your agents are doing, and all the customers that they're servicing as well. So
Super exciting.
yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, I think it really is an interesting discussion when you're looking at, we've built companies over the years with the concept of managing people and organizations and the boundaries and the responsibilities, right? And now that people are spawning off agents to act on their behalf, like how do we visualize it? We used to walk down the cubicle farm, as we were walking around,
Yeah.
AWA, and like, we all went remote, and we're like, okay, are you logged on to Slack? Now you're on the couch, but like get back to work.
Yeah.
And now it's like, okay, did you spawn off your group of agents? Are they actually doing what they're supposed to? Are your agents?
Yeah, how do you monitor your agents? So Vibecraft is heavily inspired by StarCraft.
Oh, nice.
So if any of y'all played StarCraft, as a real-time strategy game, where you have a base, you have drones, or I forgot what they're called, but you have like these things that mine minerals for you, or can build buildings, or whatever. They're essentially agents. But the thing with StarCraft, it's real-time strategy. So it's either you against many people or you against somebody else, but you each have constrained resources. Kind of same thing we're doing now, where we have real-time execution rather than real-time strategy.
I see.
We need to constantly monitor what the agent's doing 24/7, rather than the old way of working, which is like you're done for the week, or you're like there's no long-running process. But now with agents sprinkled throughout all of our workflows, we need a better interface to make sure, like, to monitor everything.
Yeah.
And 3D is kind of the next layer, right? Because there's only so much we can digest in the 2D world.
Right.
And we're already used to playing games, so why not retrofit gaming as a way to work? Because
Yeah, you gamify it, makes life easier, makes it funner, makes people want to engage with it, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, I'm super with it. I get it, and I think that we got a big winner here. I'm gonna try a different angle and try to like stand this thing up because the table's making it shake a bit. So let's do maybe this. I'm not gonna get the super cool lit up screen angle, but we'll get, actually, let me see this. This is cool. I like this actually. Appreciate you guys' patience while I'm getting the creative vision together. There's definitely one. I don't know if it's a good one, but it's one. It's something. Boom, now we're all in it. Cool. So yeah, this is basically it. And I can probably go here. I do want to show this off. So this is a Raspberry Pi, which is a mini computer. You guys can kind of see it glowing here in the corner. So what I'm going to do today is kind of set up, obviously the main project, but once we're done recording this, it will hit this mini computer, and if everything works the way it's supposed to, it will send a signal to the Mac Mini that's at the office, and we'll do all our heavy compute there. So if I can set that up, it'll be fun. I think also, Colin, you were talking about earlier that Claude Code seems slow.
Oh my God, yeah. With the million, well, there's two sides to it. So there's ones that I'm causing, which is I'm using my million token context window.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm popping a lot up. But also I'm getting these API limit errors.
oh, right, like,
Yeah.
yeah, rate limited.
Yeah, I'm getting rate limited, which I'm like, yo. Like,
What message are you getting in? Are you getting like a 4050 something?
Is a rate limit exceeded.
It just says rate limit.
API rate limit exceeded.
Okay, shit, I haven't seen that yet. That sounds like dreadful.
It's only in my sessions that I have, like, I'm sending like 700,000 tokens in. So like, okay, fine, I get it. I should be better maintaining my context, but like I have that open at 1 million because the workflow I'm doing right now, I need it. I will say, and we got in a conversation with Nate Little about this this morning on our Discord for AI Mug. That
What's AI Mug?
AI Middleware User Group. It's the AI group that I facilitate. We meet the first Wednesday of every month at Austin City College Rio Grande campus at 6 o'clock. We also are in person or remote for people that are abroad. We have a Zoom option. If you find us on Meetup, it has all the links once you sign up.
Nice. You guys on Luma?
I need to get on Luma.
What are you on?
Meetup.
Meetup.
Yeah.
Guys, go check that out. Colin is freaking stud. 2 times exited founder. Built tragedy out of, or triumph out of tragedy. And he's got some really cool, can we talk about that or should we?
I can talk a little about
I'll let, Colin can talk about his new thing a little bit here. We're waiting for I don't know what's going on with the screen right now, but go ahead. Yep.
I can talk about it. Let me just.
Yeah. Keep it vague, I guess.
Yeah. Anytime you're successful in business, you're going to end up in litigation.
Yeah, there you go.
And it means you're doing it right. You got stuff people want to take. And business is the equalization of leverage, so we've got to equalize it. Anywho, got in a situation where I needed to have e-discovery, which for those that aren't familiar, is the ability to have a chain of custody for documents in your business that are prepared and prepared in the right way that define the integrity of the document chain or the chain of custody. To do that with my existing law firm would have been $500,000 to $600,000, 4 months of waiting, and 12 people. That's my rough estimate, and I didn't have time. So I built an entire e-discovery system that's open source under the MIT license.
Ain't nobody got time for that, as they say.
Yeah, I didn't have time for that, nor the capital at the moment.
Right.
At that moment, and I built my own e-discovery system called Evidence Control. It's a part of the platform Acquit AI, ACQUIT.ai. And built a number of other tool chains for fraud detection, insider threat detection, as well as exploring a concept called sentient analysis, which is figuring out what people are going to do next versus based on what they've done. So encourage everyone to check it out. There's some novel research on the site under Insights if you want to look at how you can combine engineering concepts to law, like government effects analysis, behavioral intelligence, economics. Some interesting stuff to read on there.
Will this be democratizing access to legal advice for the everyday person?
I don't know if I could say advice because that's actually a really touchy thing to say. I use it in the same way. I use these tools in the same way that I interact with counsel, right? In that every email is like $250 when you talk to your lawyer, right? So like, be wise, run through your, get your thoughts together. And
Get your shit together.
yeah, so much. Especially with like any evidence or something like that in the case. And you have a business, you're going to end up with HR issues, employment issues, vendor contracts, whatever. But you need to be able to research the relevant statutes to whatever you're doing. You don't have to ask stupid questions to your lawyer.
Yeah.
But then there's like the lawyer brain, which is like maximizing leverage or releasing information in like a set way, stuff like that. And there's a suite of tool chains that I've put together that I use myself that limit my risk when I'm doing this. And
Nice.
yeah. And so that's the big thing. Evidence Control's licensed under MIT license. Our target for release is after an injunction hearing that I'm trying to get everyone to. But that's all I can say about that. But yeah.
Any details on the actual tool itself, or?
Yeah.
I that's really what I wanted you to get into,
sorry.
but
God.
I didn't
Yeah.
give you good.
Yeah.
I'm new to this interviewing thing, so this is part podcast, but really it was meant to be like a build session. But I think also it's cool to kind of like weave in between these things. So the tool that you created due to essentially the hardship you experienced, right?
Yeah.
So out of a tough time, you were able to create something pretty badass.
Yeah, and it's a suite of tools that create a platform. And the one that was very valuable to me to start with was evidence control, which is just a way that I can integrate it into my Cloud Code, integrate it into Codex, integrate it even into OpenClaw. That I can basically say, hey, there's this evidence we need to collect, and the same way, every time, that follows the court's recommended procedures, that evidence can be collected out of Google Workspace and organized in a way that you can't argue with, and presented in a way that my litigator can handle best.
Nice.
Yeah.
So using your tools, this will help reduce legal costs overall, right? Since it's able to do a lot of the upfront work required for legal, while you rely on the lawyer to handle the litigations, to
Correct.
handle more of the nitty gritty and approvals, but they don't have as much billable hours to do discovery, research.
Yeah, they still need to research stuff, but like in e-discovery, 75% of the time is lawyer verification of the paperwork. And so we're able to use local AI models to cut that down dramatically. And of course, you still have to verify. And those same tools, when it's time to submit a petition, the thing you have to swear to. Like, I'm a United States Marine. I take my word seriously.
Yeah.
I've sworn a couple times in my life, and like you don't go back on that.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like, when you're swearing to something on a document that's going in the court, there's also some legal weight to that too. And one of the values that the tool chain has provided me is to be able to go word by word, number by number, exhibit by exhibit in a petition, and validate that every single thing in there is backed by information that I know came from a reliable source, right? Yeah. And has a complete chain of custody. So like, so I hate to make the statement unimpeachable, but I've done my due diligence to make sure that when I'm making a statement to the court, that I'm telling the truth.
Right. So like, I'm sure you saw there's a lot of ChatGPT lawyers that,
ChatGPT lawyers
try to present their cases, but their sources aren't verified.
Yeah.
So your tool will not have that problem.
Well, there are different use cases, right? So what they're doing is they're pulling from the model, which is a highly compressed version of the internet, effectively, and they're saying, hey, what's this, whatever, right? And it's coming back with whatever hallucination it wants. So yes, my tool doesn't have the problem, but it does something different, right? So there's parts of it that I can use for research and stuff like that. But when it comes to evidence management, those are real things, and there's software that pulls them, and software that deterministic software that compares it. And then you may be orchestrated by whatever agent you want to have run the tools, but they're tools, just like when you use software. And so it gets around the hallucination. Once it gets around it, but it's just a more reliable way of having your AI system interact with it. And you can point those things at other tools that, point to Westlaw or point to other methods of validating statutes and stuff like that. But, it's kind of this balance, people new to AI, and a lot of lawyers are, they either shoot themselves in the foot or they violate their duty of privacy, their confidentiality. There's a lot of things.
Yeah. Well, so one of the things that I've been kind of noticing in listening to the process that you're going through and building is ultimately this is a machine or a tool that removes even the possibility that you would use a lawyer for stupid questions, so to speak. Meaning you have it all basically put together when you hand it over to them so that they can do their job a lot easier in an organized fashion, which is pretty cool. Yeah. And one of the things I'm wrestling with, and I spoke to Travis with after the Applied AI event, is it feels like, at least the people that I'm involved with, marketers on Facebook and small business owners, people are really excited, but it's like Dunning-Krugering maxing, if you will. Yeah. So in the South, we say they're getting a little too big for their britches. Yeah. And it's like, well, what is going on here? Just because the tool is that powerful doesn't mean you give a baby a bazooka.
Yeah.
You still have to have skills, right? You still have to know what you're building. You have to know why you're using it, what you can use it for. And when you say a lawyer with a ChatGPT wrapper, which is what we were hearing like last year or the year before,
That's not
it's
what I
like, I know it's not,
Yeah.
but I'm saying that is a thing and it was an issue. And if you
Yeah.
don't know, you don't know,
And you need to know.
right?
Yeah.
So what would you say to people who, oh, how is your tool better than what I've already got with ChatGPT? It's just ChatGPT, right?
Well, one, it's not ChatGPT. Two,
I know that. I know that.
it's based off my experiences in the global service provider space. 38 audits a year on, you know, data centers, network equipment all around the world for OCI, for Oracle Cloud. And, I was a service owner for that, so the buck stopped with me. And one of the things I had my teams do is automate the evidence gathering for our audits. Because, we didn't have that many people in my organization, but we had a lot of responsibility.
Yep.
And that same pattern of, these are for, you lose $1 billion contract if you screw these things up.
Yeah.
And,
Margin of error narrow.
yeah, which is more important. My ventures are $1 billion for people I'm working for. Obviously, I have a fiduciary responsibility to both. But you can use the same techniques that we use in the hyperscale cloud provider space in dealing with evidentiary, with evidence, and use the same thing for your own business. It's the same process that we use.
Yeah, so what I'm hearing is like for your tool, the two main things are audibility and explainability.
Yeah.
And that helps a lot in today's age because AI is very probabilistic. So you need to know all the actions that AI is doing so that when it does do something different, you can course correct it and make sure it stays in its lane. Another thing is explainability. Why did it give me this answer? And with your tool, it can reference all these different sources and then explain directly why it got the solution.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things we're extending the evidence collection side is integrating it with the same tool chains that I use in my agentic development. So like in my last venture, we were in the food and drug space, right? So in the food supply chain, food tech business. And a little known fact, if you get it like a nutrition fact statement wrong, people die. And there's huge penalties. And so like I had a bunch of land grab workflows for on the design side where I would log those to open telemetry, right? And then have agents that are basically looking for that log stream and the tags that come from it and validating that we're doing it right. And the final check, of course, lawyer signs off it, so I don't have liability. And I used that for nuclear too last year. And so one of the areas I'm growing evidence control into is putting the same structure in front of it so that when it goes and does evidence collection, not only is it right now, it has a very good chain of custody and time stamping and descriptions and all that. Then in a cryptographically secure and reasonably anonymous way, be able to log that via open telemetry to whatever platform you want using for your agent stuff, and then be able to reverse that. So I got to figure that out. I got a lot to do, but that's kind of the direction. It's really interesting how there's this overlay of how our deterministic software is run.
Yeah.
And then managed, and how we're managing our agentic systems too. And whether it be the visualization of Vibecraft, an OTel stream telling you exactly what things are doing in the turns, ins and outs, or in this case, tool usage, right?
Yeah.
It's so happy to be alive at this time in technology.
Yeah, it's very exciting because I think in today's world, there's a lot of mistrust in AI and what it's doing. So I think we're developing the tools so that it's more transparent, we know what's going on, and we can trust these machines to do what we intend them to do.
Yeah, because they do it really fast, and they make their own decisions sometimes.
They do it really fast, but I think of it as a rocket ship. So like when you want to fly to the moon, and if your calculation is wrong by even a degree,
Yep.
you will not get to the moon.
They say shoot for the moon and land amongst the dead. Isn't that the quote?
I've heard that, but it makes sense actually.
The stars. But yeah, I think that precision is going to matter a lot more. Right now, these early stages, obviously people are just trying to, all the companies are just trying to get users. They're trying to get butts and seats. But at some point, it's like, all right, everybody knows what this is. Now it's time to start charging our real price. Now it's time to start taxing the shit out of people. So how you guys know where I land on that scale, but how soon would you say that's going to become an issue? Like access to tokens,
Compute or to
compute.
intelligence.
Yeah.
Very soon, we're seeing like OpenAI is divesting a lot of their projects or side projects into other things. So there is a squeeze of capital that is seeing, they're not seeing as much return of AI that they expected to. Mainly because of a marketing problem, I believe, because they, at all the frontier labs, they're only marketing to the 1% of the population, while the other 99%, they're trying to scare, right? Where AI is going to take your job, the data centers.
Do you think that's on purpose, or did that just that narrative kind of pop up? I think I know that answer, but we're on the podcast, so.
It could be on purpose to drive, fear and anxiety on certain things, but not sure.
Yeah.
But that's the world we live in today. I mean, AI is a very exciting technology, but it needs to be accessible to everybody for everybody to have even playing field.
Would you say that if the elites are like, hey, we're just gonna, obviously have, you think about the Iran conflict or whatnot, and they are definitely using models and tools that aren't publicly accessible.
Of course.
Big surprise.
Yeah.
Does this kind of foreshadow like a world where if you're top 1%, you have access to, what's the new Opus model called? There was like not new Opus.
Capybara, right?
Yeah, Capybara or something else. There's another one even higher than that they're teasing. I saw this morning. But essentially, hey, I don't have $5,000 a month, or I don't have a mansion mortgage payment per month. Then I can't access this tool on top of the cost of living, on top of the whatever.
Yeah.
So where it's starting to concern me is most of the people that I'm around right now understand the power of it, but prior to getting into these spaces, when you hear AI, people are talking about making fucking memes and stupid ass videos and shit and cartoons, and it's like, bro, I don't think y'all are.
Yeah.
It's a gun. It's not a toy gun. It's just a gun, but y'all are acting like it's a toy.
Well, there's also two different sides to that. And Kevin Frazier, who's a professor at UT, and he built their AI law practice. He spoke about this yesterday, and it was eye-opening. He's doing a lot in public policy in the space. So here's a scary thing. So talk about the billionaire families and whatnot. And a very common thing to have in that space is concierge medical care. It's about $21,000 a year. You get your own private doctor, and they do all the body scans. You do everything, and you're basically your lifespan, your health span is guaranteed to be higher than like a normal person.
Yeah.
And so I believe Kevin referenced the law in New York that they're trying to push through. They're trying to push through a law that you had to have a wet signature, I think it was. Don't quote me on it.
Ew, that sounds horrible. What's a
he's
wet
only-
signature?
Well, yeah,
You just sign in the accident.
yeah. Well, even worse. You basically limited your ability to put your own healthcare data into your AI platform legally.
What?
Yeah.
The fuck?
So these people in our government and that are creating laws don't understand this at all, and they're lobbied by like American Medical Association that wants to make sure that we go into the cartel, and go talk to the doc,
It's the cartel.
right?
The monopoly.
That's one way to say it.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it was a nutraceutical space for a minute.
This
I
is-
like visuals into that.
So, if my AI editor's listening, this is where you need to cue the Narcos music theme song. All right, sorry.
Food and Drug Administration.
Yeah.
This is an organization.
Emphasis on drug.
Yeah, I mean, but what it is, it shows the pressure that these large companies put on our lawmakers to deprive us of our rights to freedom and health and happiness and our ability to use these tools to improve our and our families' lives. Like, imagine if it's illegal for you, we're talking about access to the API to make the decision, which is a huge fundamental human right at this point. It's because we're augmenting our cognition and it creates a class division. But now the lawmakers are putting in these silly, insane laws that they don't even understand that are severely limiting our freedoms even to use the APIs if we have them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think
God.
huge conflict of interest for lawmakers since we vote for them, right?
Yeah.
Our vote does, but so there's votes on one side,
Mm-hmm.
but there's also capital on the other side. So like
Which one of those is heavier?
and
Capital.
usually capital's heavier, so they get funded by another group of people that has different interests
Right.
than the ones that actually voted for them and the policies that
Of course.
they ran on.
Tipping scales, baby.
Yeah, so there's a huge conflict of interest for
Yeah.
politicians nowadays because they do not. I mean, we can pull up their voting patterns, and you can see a direct correlation that
Poly market, baby.
that they do not keep their
Word.
word.
Yes. That thing.
Politicians.
That thing that nobody cares about. Word.
Yeah.
No, I love this conversation. I'm excited to see how AI kind of starts to influence our political leaders and some of those things. And what does it mean for, what do they call it whenever they have they're trying to figure out what the approval rating, right? For how do you manipulate that? How do we add even more data points and kind of weigh that stuff? And what does it mean for voters? What does it mean for the information that we gather and show people when voting is happening? I'm not a political person, but this is going to kind of like force me to get into it with hard and fast data,
Yes.
which is the only thing that I've been lacking on or unwilling to dive into up until this point when it comes to being in politics. Because if you don't have enough data, you don't have the right data, or you have skewed data, or you have it like, you can manipulate it, right? Obviously. And so the likelihood of us being able to fetch and clean and keep our own data is higher because we have tools now, right?
Absolutely, and sovereign AI, our ability to process locally and not have our data leak out in some like an insane data sharing agreement with some SaaS provider that's buried inside a contract we don't know about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, home labs are more than fun; they're freedom.
Yeah, I think
Shout out
AI
Home Lab, yay, pie in the sky.
I think with AI, it allows more access to information. So pre-AI, right? The way politicians controlled information was through all the media outlets.
Mm-hmm.
Now there's infinite media outlets that we can consume from, which makes it very hard for a centralized control of information.
Right.
And with that, as long as, there's some sort of central place where you can see like politicians, who funded them, what they voted for, all the information in one place makes it easily digestible for any voter, so that when they're like, instead of going to the polls or like voting and you have that card that you fill out, that you don't know any information on any of these people.
Yeah. And then they run a quick commercial and they say some bullshit, and then you're like, all right, I remember that name, so I'm gonna vote for it. Or maybe
Right.
that's just me.
Deep research is actually really handy on that. You know, it used to be you'd read the League of Women Voters digest of it, and you try to understand it. But everyone has a perspective. It's really interesting to deep research your candidate pool, and then red team them in AI.
Oh, and we could use.
Yeah, absolutely. We can use the tool chains from Acquit AI.
There you go, Quit AI.
Yeah, ACQ.
Repurposed.
AI.
It's like the Chipotle of game theory engines.
Yeah.
You can use it in many different ways.
Well, the whole idea is that to democratize access to the skills necessary to succeed in when you're involved with the law, right? And part of that, a lot of that's thought process. A lot of it's thought process, just how you think.
Yeah.
And when we're augmenting our cognition, we're augmenting our thinking with these agents. We can direct them in thinking in a specific way.
Yeah.
And it's just for there's a big class division in this world. Those who have access to litigators. Those who have access to
Which is bread at the end of the day.
Yeah,
enough
makes the
money.
world go down.
Yeah.
Or go round. But AI is democratizing access to intelligence, and now we just have to tell the intelligence how to work.
Right. So, okay, I love this. Let's kind of reel this into Vibecraft and what this means. Like building, so imagine being able to visualize the tool chain in Acquit.ai, right? I know you're already working on like dashboard and a front end for it, but imagine also being able to have little agents on the screen. You can see what they're doing at any given time. Anxiety is still a very real situation and can be paralyzing for us. We're humans, right? Even though we're using AI, in certain situations, it's going to be hard. And so one thing that I floated to you that I kind of noticed is having a Quit AI could actually alleviate a lot of the pressure and stress that comes along with dealing with legal issues. Imagine something horrible happening to you, and then the first person you want to call is maybe a family member, maybe someone that you know and trust that's in the legal field. And if you're really lucky, your actual lawyer, attorney, whatever. I don't really know the difference between lawyers and attorneys. I'm sorry to admit that.
Your counsel.
Okay, your counsel. So when you call them, hopefully they're like there to lend an ear versus there to bill your arm and leg.
Usually both.
Probably a little bit of both.
That's
So kind of how I see this is Acquit is, hey, let me tell the story to this. Let me feed the data to this. Let me make sense of put all the puzzles on the table before we start building everything. And that's a cool container in order to do that. And just where my mind goes is if I, God forbid, was ever in that situation, well, probably will be at some point. I'm in business, so
Money more problem.
it is what it is.
Yeah.
But I would love to be able to go to war with a clear head versus stress, worry, and all these other things. So
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely what I'm using it for. Being able to in a quantitative fashion, assign risk to decision-making processes and to understand the weight of your evidence and what decisions you should make. Because at the end of the day, your counsel is someone who counsels you, but you're the one who makes the decision. It's your business. It's your signature.
Would you able? Can we simulate the whole process in Vibecraft of? So as you said, red teaming, right?
Yeah.
That's a game. That's a simulation in a sense. So theoretically, we can press the play button, and we have all these different actors on this playing field, on this chessboard, right?
Yeah.
And they're taking certain actions, and then depending on their actions, other pieces on the field moves,
Yep.
and you can kind of see that over time.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You can both play it forward from the start in game, the game cards and whatnot, and then part of the fan out process when you basically put the competition together, it's using math, of course, to figure out what are most likely touch points and what are the weaknesses and strengths. And
It's always
absolutely,
math.
absolutely, I'd be interesting to like write the bridge code, right?
Yeah. It's kind of like watching like sports. Like you can see different scenarios play out depending on like who does what and in real time, right?
That's the beauty of it, man. That is the beauty of it. I love that. I think both of the tools you guys are building are extremely useful in multiple ways and solve some big issues that everybody's having. Being able to play out a legal situation, being able to play out an AI agent swarm inside of your organization and what that even would look like before someone says yes. So there's a situation me and Colin are working on where we're going to go into an organization and host a hackathon, essentially. After doing that, I would assume that there's going to be talks around, all right, what does it look like for us to implement this on a pilot project so that we can make sure you guys don't just burn down the house here, right? And having visuals is going to be the thing that will be the difference between us getting that and someone else getting it, I would imagine. And that's where it's going to be. But let me say this also. Vibecraft is going to be one of those things that can be used on top of a game engine that can enter just about any market you think about. So with sports, I would imagine since football has so much money that's in it and things like F1 racing has so much money that's in it, if you're able to visualize and play game theory on different scenarios and show that to people as they prep for a big game or a big race or whatever the case might be, that would be huge.
Like football players, they watch film all the time.
Yeah.
So imagine you can feed all of that data in one place and be like, hey, this wide receiver, when he, shakes his leg, he's going left.
Yeah.
Right?
And they already
all those
have
little things.
Yeah, they already have speakers in the QB's helmet, so
Really?
it would be, or at least they used to. I don't know if they still do, but that used to be a thing.
Yeah, it's really interesting how, like, in business, right? You're managing people, you're managing process, you're managing technology, and your communications should be like polite, professional, and at times devastating. Ideally, right? Yeah, you just gotta.
That's your tagline at this point.
Yeah, I've been sending some of those
Why are you
emails.
pulling those videos?
It's string 5.
Oh, I'll change it. Sorry.
Oh, that's great.
This is like just random from my YouTube playing.
I love it.
I like it. It's like, oh, wrong.
Syntax error.
Here, let me show this.
Oh my god, this is great.
This is great.
As I feel like that sometimes.
Far culture.
This is the life of a dev. That's how it goes when you're really in it. But yeah, it's I'm excited to see what happens with the project, and then Clawbox basically makes it so it's easy to get started with OpenClaws is the main idea there. And I'm like, okay, they just open sourced that. I don't know if you guys know Alex Mirren. Shout out to him. But fuck. Oops. Whoops. All right, that's enough of that. We're gonna just shoot like I was shooting. I got too big for my britches. Yeah. Oh. This just says let. What did I do here? All right, I got this thing called Watch Claw that I found that I'm about to try to get onto my Apple Watch. It's gonna be fun.
I can watch this all day. It's like we get to relive
I'm distracting.
our trauma from. So this is all pre-vibe coded days, right, guys? Like, this is what we have to do.
That's what it felt like right there.
Yes.
This is great.
This is probably vibe code.
Yeah, that's cool as shit.
God, this used to take forever.
Uh-huh.
So, all right, let's talk about that. I had a cool conversation with Colin yesterday about, man, I feel based on what I know now, and I'm a newbie, I've only been doing this for 2 years. Based on what I know now, what you guys were doing before all this AI dev stuff started really popping was way harder. It just seems like all the manual input behind it would require precision and actually knowing things.
Yes.
You don't get a chance to stumble upon a solution and just keep freaking clicking the button until you, or playing the slot machine until you get what you want, right?
We are in the casino now, right? So
and I'm addicted.
the
I'm the guy with the fucking
the
cigarettes.
coins that we put in, the chips or these AI tokens, and
Yeah.
plus the prompt. So who knows what the next prompt will be that will hit that jackpot. But we're all trying to hit that jackpot to get more tokens.
Trying to get more tokenage. Cool. Colin, do you have any insights around like pros, cons around that? I know there are some people who are pretty hardcore against vibe coding, as if you will. I feel like that's a slur at this point, honestly. I don't. Yeah.
I feel slower. There are times when I vibe code, but I find that I've transitioned my development process to a genetically driven development.
Yeah.
And so if I want to one-shot something, yeah, that's fine. It's a vibe, right? And like,
It's a vibe.
yeah, it's a vibe. I'm like, okay, whatever. Maybe I'm having fun and I'm chilling on a Saturday. I just want to just go do stupid stuff. But like,
I feel attacked.
Yeah.
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 No.
No. But sometimes just like, okay, I'm just gonna one shot, see what happens. It's like, I wonder what it'll look like. I spend most of my time planning, architecting software, validating controls, and basically babysitting a bunch of sub-agents and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's agentic development, which
Yeah.
is so much different than vibe coding.
It's very different. There's two things. There's like one for experimentation, which is great, right? Because now you can go from idea to something in less than 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And that's amazing. But that doesn't mean that what you produce is a production ready
God no.
software, right? So you need to have a clear distinction between experimentation and actual execution of people's lives, right? You're gonna want more control on that side of things because any degree of error can have a major impact on their day-to-day operations, and
Yeah.
we want to limit that to
Right.
the
There's a time to do the production ready version of the thing, and then there's a time to experiment with.
Yeah, and I think the nice thing with the pre-AI.
What's up?
No, I think it's recording still.
Okay. Did we run out of memory?
No, it doesn't say running out of I don't know, we'll see. It
Okay.
looks like it's recording.
We'll see.
Should we switch up camera angles? Well, we're gonna get all angles anyway, so
Yeah, it's just. we'll
probably
see.
want to get that in the background.
It-
No.
Remember, they're capturing all angles at once.
Oh
That's-
shit!
that's
I
what
keep
ISO
forgetting.
means.
My bad.
Yeah, it's just like there's just.
ISO blue 92. Hut hut.
Oh, so back to my point. So I think all the pre-AI
Ooh.
developers.
I just got a message on my phone to trust it or not. Sorry. I'm doing Watch Claw right now.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Something's working.
Okay, go ahead.
But
Sorry.
all the pre-AI developers, think of them as plumbers, right?
Mhm.
So in this AI world, you're gonna need the person that actually can read the code, right? And just change one line that probably fixes your issue, but the AI has no idea what that is, or it gets lost because there's so much context. You're not.
So there's not enough intelligence to do that right now?
There's not enough plumbers to do.
No,
that.
I'm saying like the LLM itself can't.
They'll
'Cause they're
can-
smart
can do
enough.
it, but
You have to
the-
direct them, right?
Correct. So it's only as good as the person using it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the way I see AI, it's a multiplier,
Mm.
but we all start with a negative coefficient.
Yeah,
So
that's well put, sir.
so it
I feel
takes,
that.
it takes some time and effort to make your coefficient positive, and at that point, it's a compounding effect where the more you use AI, the more you know its strengths and weaknesses, and the more you can navigate your idea like coming into fruition. But the issue with I think a lot of people nowadays is they don't know that, and they type something in, and it doesn't
Good enough. Keep
come
going.
out as they expect, and they give up.
And then yeah.
So that's another issue. The ability to I think a lot of people need to get in their heads. The ability to fail is actually good
Mm.
because AI is not. A lot of people talk about one-shotting solutions. That's only applicable to the 0.0001% of the population that already knows how software works at its core. So they already have the right words to use, they already know what to look out for, rather than like anybody new coming on to AI. They're
Right.
just, hey, I want a dashboard.
Right.
That's it. And that's so ambiguous that AI is just going to guess and fill in the blanks. And when you see your solution, you're going to be like, that's not what I wanted. But you didn't have clear communication on what you wanted. So the AI
Right.
is just going to guess or assume certain things. And as we know, assumptions aren't good in any facets of life.
Right. You know what they say, ass out of you and me.
Yes, yes, yes.
I'm really excited about hearing that because I went through this really rough moment when I first got hired by Array, the fintech company. They were like, all right, you're our AI dev. You're supposed to have 5 to 10 years experience. It was a staff engineering role. And they were like, 5 months experience? Good job, come on. They gave me a test and basically I had to build this app. I built it, impressed them, and they were like, all right, come on. Little did they know, this is before Cloud Code, so I'm inside of Cursor using 3.5 Sonnet, wrestling with the agent.
Yeah.
But I learned so much in that quick little 3-month period.
Yes.
And lots of sleepless nights, spent way more money or more time than I was even getting paid. I got paid great, but I worked for it. And I think that moment made me also accept that I had to do hackathons to level up.
Oh yeah.
You have to go into high stress and you have to have a reason to really sprint for a little while in order to get through the inevitable not knowing what you don't know, and then finding out what you don't know, and then figuring out what you don't know,
Yeah.
and how to solve it, right? But there's so much that happens with vibe coders, in my opinion, where they're going to allow a certain technical threshold to not be reached. They're
Yes. There's gonna be a
all right,
certain
that cliff,
plateau.
I'll go past that hill, I'll go in the woods over here, I'll go into that swamp. But crossing that chasm, nah, I'm done. I'm not going that far.
Yeah.
It's like people reached a spot where they're like, all right, enough's enough. Too technical.
Too technical.
Like, no,
Yeah.
there's none of that. You just keep going.
So that's the goal with the classes we're putting on at Hicam to.
Where's the extension cord? Yeah. Oh yeah, there's a plug. Never mind. Sorry, you got it.
Where we have, a team of AI builders that can help take all these vibe coded projects to the next level. Because yes, your idea is 80% of the way there, but it takes a lot to get something into production.
Right.
And the people we're surrounding ourselves with knows how to do that effectively.
Yep.
So I think having that resource is very valuable moving forward, especially in the Austin community or any type of community where we're constantly online, but the need for human connection is always needed. So having an in-person course where you can come in, ask questions, not feel stupid is a great environment for people to explore any ideas that they've been having.
100%. Well, so you guys can take it from me. I've learned most of my stuff from YouTube. I'm just a graduated beginner at the end of the day. But the difference is I've been fortunate to work out of Antler and meet people that I can ask questions to that can put me on the game and kind of get me up leveled. And through that process, coupled with my own self discovery and understanding, like what else could I be building or what else should I be building, kind of led to me leveling up really quickly. So I think that it would behoove you to attend as many of these in-person trainings and hackathons as possible. You have to get in the reps. There's no way around it.
Agreed. We're all back in school, guys. So we all gotta, no matter how old you are, how much you think you advanced in your career, there's so much more to learn. So don't let your ego stop you from learning this new tool, because 100 years ago was the Industrial Revolution, where everybody was doing textiles by hand, and now machines can do the same thing. We're at the same point with software. We don't need to type to code anymore, or we are typing, but we're just we're not typing like code. We're just typing words.
Prompts,
We're
yeah.
just typing prompts. So that
It's a
like,
big deal, man.
it's a big difference. So I believe we're in like kind of a factory model where
Yes.
we can produce products as a factory, given all the steps needed. There will be a lot of steps, right? So in a car factory, how much steps, like I think Honda was really good at creating that factory model where they can produce something cheap, reliable, and consistently. We want to do the same thing with software. We want to do the same thing with all the other types of industries, such as marketing, sales, medical, legal, all that.
All of
And
it, man.
all that can be done in a factory model the more you know about that industry and the nitty gritty.
Right. 1000%. So one of the things I'll kind of add to that is imagine being able to speak Japanese by speaking English.
Yes.
That's basically where we're at with all this stuff. is in the past you would have had to get a tutor. You probably needed to go make a trip and live in it for a while to really get a hang of it. You would have to, in doing so, what you gain is the cultural nuances that come along with learning a language. We got all kinds of shit going on in the background now.
Like every time I look over, there's something else.
That's pretty funny. Actually, let's do this. I can pick a different movie through YouTube, I think. I want to pick something that's actually like relevant to what we're doing. It doesn't matter. Anyways, no, I fucked up there he goes. Okay. What's interesting is you lose something from that cultural experience. I'm going to lose something. If I know Japanese because I learned it from a machine, I'm not going to be as, it's like a fingertip feel, like in tune with that language and that culture as someone who did it the old way. And that's the same thing with like devs, that you guys who learned it originally and then someone like me. But the difference is that I know that.
Got to know that.
And if you don't know, then if you don't know, now you know. Sorry.
Yes.
But I know. I think I know.
Yes, we learn a lot by pain. So put yourself in more painful situations and you will eventually get to a point in life where you're like, huh, things are easy now because you constantly like push yourself to the limits. So you use that as a reference point for all their other experiences. So I think that's why a lot of founders are like marathon runners or like they have a high pain tolerance because any situation they're in, they're like, I'm not running a marathon right now. Right? This is easier than a marathon, so I have less anxiety since I have a reference point of time that I experience more pain.
Yeah, I love that as a reference too, because the endurance game, it's not just any sport, it's different. We're talking, something explosive, weightlifting, basketball, whatever. But like endurance sports, man, this coding stuff is definitely an endurance.
Same thing.
Endurance sport. Yeah. I resonate with that for sure. And I love it. I think you have to be a little, I guess the word is sadistic, to really understand that the more walls I run through, the stronger I become.
Yeah.
And it's going to hurt and it's going to be embarrassing sometimes and nobody wants to feel or look weak. But I've gotten to a spot to where understanding true strength, you don't care because the people who know.
Exactly.
And they're not going to judge you for your scars or whatever. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
And that's very comforting coming from, entrepreneurship, marketing background where everybody's putting it on extra. Like appearances matter way too much.
Yeah. It's the ego problem. So like if you just shut down that voice inside your head that says like, what will this person think of me? What would this person it's just like you need to be yourself, or like you need to know yourself the most or invest in yourself the most nowadays because that's the best ROI.
Yeah.
Period.
So would you say that coding will get you there philosophically if you're in it deep enough? It's like a meditation and a practice, if you will. It feels like meditation to me. I've meditated for the past 20 years, and I'm like really into it, and I think that it's saved my life in a lot of instances.
It helps a lot because you have so many thoughts, right, that ruminate inside your head, and like the quicker you can identify how you're feeling and be clear on what you want, the easier it is to communicate with AI. Because AI is
That's a great freaking point, man.
AI is a reflection of yourself.
We're gonna
it's a mirror.
we're gonna talk about that a little bit.
Is that Black Mirror?
Do you think? Yeah, it's definitely a black
We're
man.
living Black Mirror now.
Do you think so? Saying that it's a reflection of yourself. Do you think that's why OpenClaw popped off like it did? Is because people are like, if they would have marketed it without the freaking logo. So I've got this keychain without the logo, without the mascot, without the cheeky Claude misspelled name, without the, hey, this is a personal AI agent.
Yeah.
Do you think it would have hit the same? And then I also want you to answer if you think people looking at it as a personal thing kind of added a layer of ownership to it, maybe.
Yeah, I think it resonated with a lot of people. So like nowadays or before AI,
Mm-hmm.
our data was owned by like Facebook, like all these different types of companies that leverage our data to, you know, feed us more stuff that benefited them. But with OpenClaw, for the first time ever, we can now leverage our data ourselves in a safe place like that other companies don't have access to. And
Yeah.
since it's able to connect with so many different integrations and act on our behalf, I see it as a Jarvis and like
Yeah.
Iron Man, right?
Yeah.
So like for the first time ever, there's something for us, right? It
Mm.
feels more personal because the
So let me ask you this: why is OpenClaw better than Siri? Because Siri and Alexa were before OpenClaw, and it's basically a very personal. I mean, you could just order stuff from Amazon from talking, and kids were doing that, and their parents were like, "What the fuck? How did this happen?" Right?
Siri, you can't customize it
Mm.
to how you want, right? OpenClaw, you can do anything with it to like your preferences, but with Siri, you're relying on Apple to recommend what's the best way to do things, right?
So if someone was like, "I want OpenClaw, but it's like so hard to set up," what would you tell them?
I would tell them to start journaling and write about know themselves because with OpenClaw, I think of it as a Pokemon that starts out at level 0, right?
Yep.
The more you talk to it, the more it levels up. Kind of like ChatGPT, right? So you have ChatGPT, the more you talk to it, the more it knows you, and it can reference more and more information. It compounds, so it levels up, and that's why it's hard to switch from ChatGPT to other. It's hard to bounce around between the different frontier models.
Yes.
You're like, okay, my ChatGPT is level 10, but my Gemini is level 0.
Right. Right.
I'm always gonna go to my ChatGPT.
I never thought of it that way, but you're right. Because Claude Code, I feel so much more like at home. It's like broken in,
Exactly.
like a good pair of jeans. My Codex is kind of like I only ask it to QA things.
Yeah.
That's basically
Doing deep research. It's really
yeah.
good.
Yeah. So
But
OpenClaw's our own like Pokemon that we get to level up. It's a reflection of ourselves. So the more information we feed it on who we are as a person,
Yeah.
the better it can help us because it can identify where our strengths and weaknesses are
yeah.
and kind of guide us to be a better person because who else to ask? It has all the information. So why you can go to a therapist, but it's how long will it take for a therapist to know all your trauma? How
Right.
much is it gonna cost to
Right.
do that? Well, you can just feed all your journals, everything about you.
You trust Sam Altman with that?
Sam Altman with my journals.
Well, so talk about OpenClaw versus just using ChatGPT for it
So the thing with OpenClaw
for the
is,
same
yeah,
journaling thing.
you can host it on a segregated device that's not accessible by anybody else. So I have 10 journals that I transcribed, and I do not want to give that to ChatGPT because it has a lot of personal information. With OpenClaw or any tools like OpenClaw, you can run it on a Mac Mini, you can run it on a Raspberry Pi, you can run it on any type of device that, kind of supports it.
Yep.
And feed that information, and from there, if you have an open source model as well,
Yes.
that data will not leave that place, and you can ask it all the sensitive information that you want. It's like,
Right. Yeah. So that part resonates with me. The first event I ever went to when I was like crossing industries, getting into tech was Tech Week, Austin Tech Week. And
oh,
in the first
in
talk that
October?
no, it was like, yeah, October 2 years ago.
Okay.
And the first talk I ever saw was Web AI.
Oh, wow.
And they're talking about local, and they're doing that demo that they used to always show where it was like the airport carrier or whatever. And it clicked immediately. I was like, holy shit, this is awesome. Well, yes, I want private.
Absolutely.
Local LLM. I don't know what that means or how it works, but I'm going to do it. And then I went, just so happened, 2 months later, there was the Olama hackathon.
Oh, yeah.
And so I put Olama on
At Meta?
this device, yep.
Yeah.
And it was off to the races from there. I didn't know requirements, space, unified memory. It was like, whatever, bro. Yeah, I'm going to try it. And I was probably at like eight seconds per token or some shit. But anyways, I do think that the world needs an OpenClaw moment. Or I've heard Jensen say that OpenClaw was the iPhone moment for AI, which is beautiful and well said. But I had said that already, so now I'm like, fuck yeah. I was really excited because I was like, okay, I'm thinking correctly.
Yeah.
Right? And so now, what does that iPhone moment look like for local? And who's going to be the person to usher that in, right?
Yeah.
Because there's got to be like a version of it that's accessible from a concept standpoint for everyone to kind of wrap their head around it and understand how important it is.
Yes. I think hardware, like getting cheaper hardware, Raspberry Pis, all that, accessible for the everyday person, is one step in the process.
This thing is $200, guys. And it's a whole kit. It comes with the SD card and everything. So go get one if you can.
Yeah.
Highly suggest, rather than spending $700 on a Mac Mini. They upped the price, by the way. I just bought a new one, so I know.
Yeah, hardware and then setup, because a lot of people are scared of the CLI or an IDE or whatever, right? So just making it like, imagine your parents want this to set up. What is the easiest way for them to get set up?
Right.
Because I've had a lot of calls from my parents on technical support, and I'm losing my mind.
What's my password?
So
I don't know.
Imagine setting up OpenClaw for your parents
Oh God.
in this current state. That's the issue.
That's hard.
Okay. That's a great segue. If I had to do it, I would do a Raspberry Pi with Home Assist, which is how I've got mine set up, plus a local model, because this is a 16 gig one.
Yeah.
So, local model, like, I don't know, Quinn, probably not, because it's going to be hard to get support pretty soon here. Let's say GLM. GLM model, and then an agent on top of Home Assistant. Because Home Assistant still works with automations. Everybody's running automations. People who are deep into it have been doing it for a while. But what happens when an automation breaks? Obviously, you gotta, unless you have an agent, you're gonna have a hard time. So OpenClaw, or one of the derivatives, Hermes, is what I used. Containerize Home Assist.
Yeah.
And that way, it feels like they can't wreak havoc on their whole life because it's just sitting on a Raspberry Pi in their home network, right?
Yeah.
So I think there's like an art to rolling shit out for people so that they don't hang themselves.
Marketing it's a lot of marketing
Yeah.
involved to like kind of demystify the scariness of all this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you know, my parents don't even know what ChatGPT is. So how can you convince them about OpenClaw?
Right.
There's a huge gap in what they know and what's available now.
Damn. Okay. Any hacking getting done right now?
Yeah, we're just talking about that. It was great.
I'm almost done with my version of what I'm putting together. So I'm pretty excited about that. I've spent $16 over 169,000 tokens, according to Opus 46 in my status line. So I guess if it wasn't subsidized, this one chat is a $20 chat, right?
Is it worth it?
That's, I mean, it is right now, but will it be in the future is a better question. So one of the things I thought about while we were talking also is my prompts are getting shorter and shorter, which is beautiful, and I'm really excited about that.
Yeah.
I met with Ben Freed, I think his last name is
Yeah,
Freed.
touch him.
Pretty smart guy,
Yeah.
has done some pretty interesting stuff in the realm of what I like saying is building the shovel factory, not necessarily just the shovel or just the gold. And it's been, that's also been very encouraging for me because mostly what I've built from the very beginning are dev tools.
Yeah.
And now I'm understanding that that might be the difference maker in the next year. Because everybody will have, let's assume that the tokens are still available at $200 a month. Everybody will have access to the tools. Most people, most middle class and better Americans, I would imagine,
Yeah.
is what we could call that. The difference is going to be your setup.
Yep. 100%. It's the workflows that like, it's the proprietary workflows that you put into like a skill or these dev tools that says, hey, this is my knowledge from my career, and this is how I leverage it with AI. And rather than like somebody that doesn't know anything about marketing trying to create it, they're not going to get the same leverage that you can, that you know all the nitty gritty. So you
Right.
know what AI shouldn't do and what it should do.
I'm going to take it even further. There's another side of that coin, and it's the side of I might know everything about marketing, but I might have no idea how to package it into a tool. And that's also an issue. And so now you're going to have the people who are badasses at the packaging, not a subject matter expert, impossible packaging or trying to, what's a skill? What's a plugin? What's MCP? Yeah, we still use MCP. Let's do that. Let's put it on the, it's like,
Agreed.
what the fuck?
I think a lot of industry, like, if you think about competency in like a lot of areas, there's like levels to it. So let's say
Yes.
like it's goes to level 1 through 10. But when you're talking to the level 10 guys, they're speaking gibberish
Right.
to you. They can't even explain
Yeah.
how they got
Using acronyms to describe
yeah.
acronyms.
So I'm talking. Well, they're literally speaking a different language.
Exactly.
And it is more efficient at that point to be able to, because they're describing a calm, very huge, complex problem space. But you have to level up into it.
You have to level up, but if you can't teach the level 1 people and bring
Get
them
on
up,
board. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to step into it. You have to learn the terminology. You have to actually and how do we learn? We learn by doing there's different people have different learning styles, but for me, I learn by doing, by visualizing, by experiencing things in like 3 different ways, and then by doing it myself. And then that creates an experiential memory, which then I move up from. But when you're up, you're going, when how to put it, when I get a touch of the tism. When I go crazy on that stuff, right? Not crazy, but go hardcore. It definitely is a smaller room versus creating things in an approachable way and allowing people to step into it, because if this transition's happening so fast.
Yes.
That, for those of us that are swimming on the edge of that wave and paddling furiously, it feels like that gap's growing wider and wider every day as things accelerate. And so we have a responsibility and obligation, opportunity to help people get on the wave.
Right.
Correct.
Well, would you also say, going back to like that gap widening, I for one specifically feel like over the past month and a half, let's say 45 days, it's really sped up.
Correct.
And it was fast, but it was like manageable. And then at some point we just got hit with so much shit at the same time that it was like,
self-improving code, hands down.
Dude.
It's compounding. So
it's compounding. So now there's like, so there's dev tools, and then there's like knowledge tools, and there's memory, and there's research tools, auto research. I'm thinking of things like what I did with Appify. I have a changelog capture situation where it takes OpenClaw changelog and pushes it over to my ClaudeBot ready repo, which I use to deploy OpenClaws, because I need to know how any change in the changelog might affect my repo. And then I did the same thing with Claude Code. So Claude Code changelog goes into my boilerplate repo organized code base, right? And so I'm looking back at my newbie self, and I'm like, holy shit, I got lucky to choose right, that I was probably going to need to be able to stay on top of things as they sped up, and I put together a system to do that, right?
Yeah.
So now it's like, is everybody thinking like that?
No.
Or are they just drowning?
No, they're...
Because it's one thing to surf the wave and have a great time at the beach and check out the babes and all the things. And then there's another thing to be like, holy shit, this was a disaster, I almost drowned today.
Yeah, so what you said about systems is very important, because a lot of people are, kind of going around blindfolded. They don't have a system. They're just asking things in the wind, right? And without a system, you don't get any type of consistency with any prompts you have. So having a framework, having a system is very important moving forward in this age of AI. And to go deeper, it's like, when you have a system, you have a factory, right? So
yes,
you creating kind of that factory line for any type of work or outcome that you want. So have an idea here, lots of systems interacting with each other in the middle, and then you have your outcome.
And we were talking about swimming on the wave here, and when you're talking about the software factory, and like classic software, your CI systems, your development methodologies and all that too, there's a significant amount of work that comes together into making quality software, right? The difference between like vibe coding and agentic engineering. And that is, I sit next to you a lot of the time, Jordan, and I see you plugging along, implementing new methodologies, trying out new things, experimenting, and growing in your ability to make quality code fast, right? And I've seen this for a couple months now, and so I've seen you put in the couple months of work necessary to get to the things you can do today, and it's not unachievable, but it also is thinking like there's a lot of learning, and there's a lot of process.
It's not easy.
It's not easy,
guys.
Yeah.
It's not just, you don't just vibe it into existence.
Yeah.
Right. I wish.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's the thing that kind of gets you into it. It's like Disney World. It's like, oh yeah, I want to go to Disney World. This sounds great. And then you get there and everything's long ass line, costs an arm and a leg, and you're like, fuck, this is hard. This is not as straightforward and easygoing and only fun, no headache. Yeah, right.
You're like, but the ads said it was. They got me good.
Right. So I'm really excited to just kind of be in the space. Those are kind of words. I appreciate that, man, because I do put in. You got to put your guts into it, man. It's really at the end of the day, you got to push hard and figure out what does it take to actually make a difference with this stuff and actually be in it, not just posing.
Yeah, you gotta do it.
Yeah. So speaking of got to do it, I just forked Clawbox and added Vibecraft to it. So let's launch it and try to see if we got anything going here.
Awesome. I need to leave soon.
Yeah, I know. I'm aware. We're good. I think. You guys have anything else you want to add before we call it?
If you're in the Austin area, Wednesday we will have prop labs here at Hicam. So,
You-
Oh, it's this Wednesday?
yes, it's this Wednesday. So,
I'll be here.
Jordan will drop a link somewhere.
There will be a link in bio, link somewhere. I already bought my ticket, so I'm really excited for it. And
Well, you already got the class today.
I already got it. I already got it today. In the future, what we'll probably do, guys, is you'll probably see, this live stream, and we'll dig into more of the coursework. Today was kind of like a dry run, just kind of chatting, jamming with the homies. But did you want to mention the Lovable?
No.
Okay.
I want to finalize that
So,
first.
anyways,
Yeah.
we got some really cool things going on. Come out here at Hicam. I'm going to show you guys around the facility in a little bit here. Maybe, probably not, but maybe, probably not. But it's really badass. You guys can look at reels on IG. My name, 3A's, Jordan Hill, and I've posted some of the general areas for this facility. So it's like super futuristic looking, and it's worth coming and checking out. Guys, y'all have socials you want to drop or anything?
Steven Tran on LinkedIn.
There you go.
Colin McNamara and all the things. You go to COLINMCNAMARA.com or just Google me or Perplexity or whatever. I show
Just
up everywhere.
Google me.
Yeah.
What a flex.
Yeah.
Google me.
Yeah. There's a connect page on my blog that has all my stuff.
We love it. We love it. Cool. Well, hey guys, appreciate you guys. Peace.